And we went live.
Just waiting on it to actually notify me.
I am stuck at this moment. I've been working on the script. I'm stuck at where in this fight scene because I don't know how I want it to go.
I think this is it, right? Show will begin in 5 minutes live. Share. Six with Andrew Anderson and Jeanette PAcifico. All right, let's get going here.
Andrew is friends
with
Ace. Ace? Yes. He's best friends with Ace. And he gives Gene Simmons shit all the time.
All right. Okay. Hey, you guys. Welcome to StormCrow Dreamers Talking to Dreamers. Episode 26. Who would have thought that we could get that far? You showing though, Mark? Because I still have just a black screen.
Yeah, it's got to give it a minute. There's a delay.
Anyway, love having you back. We only do it maybe every 3 to 4 weeks nowadays because we got way too many other things going on to be able to keep up with anything more than that. And there's, of course, my co-host, Mark Potter. Without him, the show wouldn't be happening. And then my name is JD Glasscock. And then, of course, Lola.
Hi, Lola.
And then we have some amazing guests for you tonight. A really good friend of mine, Andrew Anderson, who was in our early, like episode 5 or something like that, way back when.
Mm-hmm.
Then a new friend who just did a big indie film, Jeanette PAcifico. So who would you like to bring on first?
Well, let's bring Andrew back in.
Okay, you guys. A great friend of mine, very talented, East Coast wrestling legend, also been on TV shows like Gotham and movies like The Wrestler, and has numerous things going on and has done that we'll talk about. And then for you wrestling fans, he's wrestled with all the legends you can think of.
Mick Foley.
Yeah, let's bring on Andrew Anderson. Hey, Andrew.
Yes, sir.
And look, Andrew's like practicing a role he has for a horror film with a knife and a salami. So it's called "Let Me Cut Your Salami." It's rated R. It's going to be showing.
It's called Mamma Mia. I want a snack.
It's kind of racy though for you guys that are sensitive. I got some racy parts to it.
All right.
You give Andrew big schlongs of salami and a knife, things can happen.
That's it. I have no shame, man. I'm
okay, let's bring Jeanette. Jeanette just started in a great indie film. Andrew would like to carve her up in his new horror. But also has a lot of dreams and aspirations she's working on and striving towards. And a beautiful lady. Let's get Jeanette PAcifico.
Is she there?
There she is. Hey, Jeanette.
Hey.
Okay, so did you guys see the watch party? You can share it, all that stuff, if you want. Definitely, I wish they had an easier way of just inviting people instead of me having to like singly go down lists and invite people. But anyway, we're still working on it. Hey, what we're doing right here with this Facebook show done via Facebook Live with 4 guests. To me, I'm the only. I think we're the only ones that did that. And I think we're the first ones to do that. So, I think I've seen one person that used to do a show on blog that since we did our show, and is a friend of mine, also now trying to do it, but it's very, very cool. We're going to jump right into it, though. We'll start with Jeanette. What is something you've done in the last few years, project-wise, that you're insanely passionate about, and it turned out great?
Well, so I just started acting about a year and a half ago, but since then I've had a lot of projects, at least once a month, so one a month, so Exercise is a pretty cool one. It's a short film, and my buddy did all the music for it. We wrote it, and it's like horror synth 80s, set in the 80s. It's about a satanic cult that it was built over a gym.
You're what now?
It's built over a 1980s gym, so that was a really cool project.
Wow, you did a 1980s film, so there's like big hair and.
Yeah, so I wear a lot of like spandex.
Come on, Andrew, you remember the 1980s? Unlike Ned, me and you like existed in the 1980s.
Me and JD were the epitome of the 1980s.
Yeah, yeah.
We were, listen, in 1980s, I was driving my Camaro.
Oh yeah.
I was blasting Iron Maiden and Quiet Riot.
And I was riding my little tricycle with its rims and horns and stuff like that. And
Man, y'all have.
He was in he was like 20 years old when he was doing that.
Then I have y'all beat. I was born. I was a week before the new year.
Wow.
No, you were born in '89 and before the 90s.
I was born 2 weeks before the new year.
I was graduating high school when you were.
All right, in 1989, I was graduating college, guys.
There you go. So Jeanette, okay, so it's a comedy, I'm assuming.
Yeah, it's like a horror comedy. So it's a really cool 18-minute film, and it won some awards at some Philadelphia film festivals, Philadelphia area. So that was fun to be a part of.
There's one Philly film festival I know of that I've won some stuff at, and it's a very cool guy that runs it, and it's called First Glance.
Okay.
And I think that's in Philly.
I heard of
I think they have an LA one too now, but the original one is from Philly. Very cool. And is that where you are, Philly?
So I'm in South Jersey, but I'm only a 25-minute ride from Philadelphia.
South Jersey. Shouldn't you be having like a way thicker accent or something?
Oh, it's not thick?
No.
Okay, let me ask you a question. Is it pork roll or Taylor ham?
Pork roll.
Oh God, you're horrible. Go away.
Forget about it. Pork roll.
Forget about it. Hey, listen, I'm gonna call over here my Uncle Junior. He's gonna say it's not pork roll, it's Taylor fucking ham. What's the matter?
Oh.
Okay, what is we're gonna bounce right back to you, Jeanette, in a second here. Andrew, what is something you've done in the last couple years that you thought turned out great and you're very proud of and happy with?
10 to 20 on no, I'm kidding. Let's see, the past couple of years. Oh God, Gotham was huge.
That was you run about 2 or 3 episodes.
3 episodes. Sneaky Pete, recurring role as a drug dealer on Sneaky Pete. I'm not drug dealer, arms dealer. Sorry. Sneaky Pete, an arms dealer on Sneaky Pete. Let's see what else.
I'm not familiar with Sneaky Pete. That's a TV show.
Yeah, that's an Amazon Prime show. So.
Hey, dude, I just watched. Amazon Prime is doing some good things, man.
Unbelievable shit on there, man.
Yeah, I watched. I think they're like the new stars kind of thing.
Yeah.
They did because they're doing some heavy, like really highly skilled writing wise, producing.
Yep.
The Boys.
Oh.
Wow! matter of fact, I just did I Skyped an audition for The Hunt with Al Pacino.
Gotcha.
I Skyped an audition for The Sinner, and I got as a bartender on it with Bill Pullman. So that's pretty much. I think it's.
You Skyped them or you swiped them?
I Skyped them. I Skyped the audition.
No, I'm kidding.
I don't
Skype, but when I do audition, I do self-taped auditions.
Well, I do taped auditions too, and it's usually my daughter with the camera doing it for me because my
yeah, dude. My first couple films, we did live auditions, and I have to be honest, we had such huge turnouts, which was a great compliment. But I cannot listen to that much bad acting.
I know.
I
you know what you have to do?
Myself in the head, and then
listen, you have to have somebody screen it.
Yeah, after 3 films, I was like, okay, dude, I got to do self-taped auditions so I can just hit stop.
Well, the best part was Darren Aronofsky. When I was doing The Wrestler, Darren Aronofsky came in. He saw me swinging a chain through a high school gymnasium in one of the small indie shows that I was doing, and he told one of the producers, he said, I got to have that guy in my film, The Wrestler. And I went in there. Originally, Nicolas Cage was in the role, Mickey Rourke's role of Randy the Ram. So I went in and I did read my scenes with Darren Aronofsky and Evan Ginsberg and a couple other people. I read my scenes with them, and Darren Aronofsky was like, dude, he said to me when we're filming the movie about a month later, I'm in the urinal pissing next to Darren, and he turns around and I'm saying to myself, this is the director. He did all these movies. He did Requiem for Dream. Yeah, I said he did all this stuff. He worked with Jennifer Connelly and everything, and he's pissing right next to me. And he turns around and looks at me right in the middle of midstream. Says to me, he goes, but buddy, he goes, I got to tell you, when you came in and you auditioned, he said you were a fucking breath of fresh air. You're gonna go places. You're talented, and this is Darren Aronofsky saying this to me. So me, I was like,
as he has his hand on his penis.
We both had our hands on it. It's kind of fucking a bonding moment, as I hate to say. And we talked about it. We talked about it when we were filming Iron Man 2. Him and I was on the set with him, and he said to me, he looks over at Robert Downey Jr. and says, me and Drew really bounded at the urinals during The Wrestler. I was like, what the fuck? You tell Robert Downey Jr. that?
Hey, yeah, those are private moments, buddy.
Yeah.
You can't be like on talk shows like right now during the whole experience.
That was pretty funny, man. But you know, I have all this shit for my book called "It's Really Not My Fault." So a lot of this stuff is I'm trying to get Darren to write an excerpt from my book. I haven't been able to get a hold of him to do it, but I haven't talked to him in about 1.5 years, maybe 2 years. But I wanted him to write an excerpt because my book is a little different. It's got my version of the story, and then it has everybody else's version. So thank God I have Roddy Piper posthumously. He's long gone, but I have his version.
Roddy, man.
Oh yeah, I have stuff by him.
He's got one of the best lines in all of film.
Oh yeah, I'm here to chew bubblegum and kick ass.
Yeah, no, something like I like chewing bubblegum or kicking ass, and I'm all out of bubblegum.
Yep, that's what they live. Yeah, so he gave an excerpt from my book, and a lot of guys, Jimmy Snuka, who trained me and was like a dad to me, Jimmy Superfly, he gave a shitload of.
Those are all the names that I grew up with, man. And I think against Nick Foley, but when I in your intro I said Andrew has rolled with a lot of wrestling legends for you wrestling fans out there, and Mark's like, yeah, like Nick Foley.
Nick.
Now
Nick. No, great, Nick Foley.
He is nowhere near the legends I'm thinking of when I made that statement. I would not think of Nick. I would not put Nick Foley in the.
You're thinking of Macho Man.
Hey, Mick Foley.
Listen, I got to tell you, Mick Foley is one of the nicest.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I'm sure he is.
Guys. And in my eyes,
Greg Valentine or Jimmy Snuka.
Mick is right up there with Mick is right up there with him. I put him up there. He's done so much for the business.
Roddy.
Oh yeah. Those are what I call those. I call those guys. That's the golden age of wrestling right there.
Well, because Nick Foley came in later. You know what I mean?
Yeah. He came.
The guys I grew up with were, Rowdy Roddy, Valentine, the Barber.
Yep. All the guys that I still run with. Right?
Macho Man and.
Yeah, well, Mick Foley is my generation.
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm saying you said his name, but it's not who I was thinking of. The four.
Hey, I'm your generation. I'm your fucking generation.
Hey, do you know I actually asked someone the other day, I said yabba, or no, I said something to this 20-year-old. I said yabba dabba do, and they're like, what's that? And I'm like, Fred Flintstone, and they're like, you mean the cereal?
Wow.
I'm like, the cereal.
Fruity
Okay,
Pebbles.
yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah, the cereal. He's just a cereal guy.
Oh, you should have said to him,
Yeah. I don't know. All right, so Jeanette, what is we're going to bounce back to Jeanette. So Jeanette, what is a current project you're working on that you're amped about, you're excited about?
So I'm currently filming One Night. It's an indie feature film, and I play the lead role of Olivia.
I thought that was in the can, so you're still filming that one.
Yes, I'm really excited about it. It's an unconventional love story, so.
Yeah, that's a feature, yes?
Yeah, and it's my first lead role. So.
Your leading role, yes.
Yeah.
wow.
That is awesome. That is a great
Thank you.
experience. For me to get a leading role, I had to like write my own film and shove my way into it, but you know what I mean? But
I love writers, and I don't know how you guys write screenplays.
It's hard.
yeah, I'm kidding though. The only reason I was even the actor in my film was the guy bowed out 2 days before we were going to shoot. I actually hate acting in my own film, and I'm not even acting ain't really my thing. My thing is creating, but that's awesome for you, Jeanette. And wait, give us the thematic a little bit.
Well, I can't say too much about it. Just that it's a love story with a twist, and it's just the script's amazing. I read it all the time, and
You do the dance move, the twist, as you love someone. Is that what you're saying?
I do the twist.
Wait, how does that song go again? The twist. That song?
Come on, baby. Let's do the twist.
Yeah.
Come on, baby.
Yeah.
Do the twist.
But yeah, I try to film and be in all different kinds of projects as much as possible. I do horror. This is my first like love story romance.
Yeah, I think it's always good to diversify. You don't want to get pigeonholed or pinned or. I know Andrew, acting wise, has probably gotten that a little bit from his wrestling background. You know,
Oh yeah, I'm always
like, hey, be the meathead tough guy or whatever. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Fine if it's actually a layered role like that, like where it's a role like that, because the role he has in my film is the tough guy, but there's so much depth and great dialogue for that character and like layers of personality that it's a good role.
You see, JD made my
guy that has like 2 lines and look tough.
JG made my character like an onion. I have layers.
Yes,
I'm like an onion.
Yeah. You're like a Kirby onion in that film, is what he
I'm
is.
like an onion. I'm more like if I come out of the tanning salon, I'm more like a red onion.
If you,
Andrew, look at that. Look at those action chops.
hey,
man.
if you stay too long,
Hey, I mean, how long have me and you known each other now? What, like 6 years?
3 years. 3 years. We've been like going back at least 3 years. I mean,
No, longer than that. I think
maybe about 5. Yeah, you know.
I've been I've known you since LA, and I've been in Texas for 3.5. So
Yes. Since you were in LA, when we
like
both
5
had
or 6.
losses. We both had losses
Your
in our
acting
family
chops
together.
have jumped leaps and
Yep.
bounds in the years that I've known you. So that's awesome. Jeanette, is this a big cast? Is this a smaller cast? Is this a?
Where is she?
I don't know. I'm yeah.
Cast wise, am I still here?
Oh, you look like you were talking, but I think you were just inner monologuing with your lips.
Oh
I'm
boy.
sorry. It's been a long day. I deliver mail for a living, like my day job. I'm a mail lady, so I walked a lot today. It was advertising.
I hear you. It's a good job though.
Yeah, I get paid to exercise, so.
And you get great benefits, right?
I have benefits.
No?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
you
not
got.
regular yet. I'm just an assistant, but I will make regular one day, and I will get.
Well, hopefully you move on with your film stuff, and then
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
But okay, let's drop back over to Drew. Drew, what is a current project? I mean, you've already named a couple that are current right now, but
Yeah, that's right now. Right now, I'm concentrating heavily on the wrestling right now. Because if you notice, we have a new resurgence, a new renaissance in the wrestling business with AEW,
whatever, and
with Cody Rhodes with AEW. And then you have just now I heard Master P is going to buy The rapper Master P is going to buy House of Glory Wrestling out of New York. He's already, saber rattling that he's going to put Vince McMahon out of business, which is not going to happen. But, unless he has that kind of money, like the Coms.
It's also promotional, but yeah.
Yeah, that's all it is. But then you also have, the National Wrestling Alliance with Billy Corrigan, where I was one of the franchise owners, and then Billy Corrigan bought the company itself and became
Billy Corrigan as a pumpkin.
Smashing Pumpkins, yeah. So now I'm trying to lobby myself back into the National Wrestling Alliance graces. Some politicking happened in the past, but I'm hoping to get back in on old studio wrestling like the National Wrestling Alliance.
Or better yet, we land you a huge role and you blow up, and then the wrestling can maybe slide.
Well, let's do that. You know what I'm saying? And my agent JD, I'll be like, hey JD, well, what are we gonna do now? So
exactly.
You got
we'd rather get you out of the wrestling game and into the acting game.
Well, you know what? Something came in the mail today, which was pretty cool. I opening it right here. I don't know if you could get a look at this.
I didn't deliver that.
No, you didn't.
Not in my area.
Look at that.
That's awesome.
It's a sterling silver belt buckle with 10-karat gold plating and some bejeweling on it.
Professional Wrestling Hall of Fame.
Yep, and it's got my name on it. So
that's awesome, dude.
And the Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame, actually, they wanted to thank me for all the years that I've supported them and everything on it. And they just really, it was really a humbling moment. You know what I'm saying? When I'm opening up the mail and they said, there's something coming in the mail for you. And I said, all right. I said, well, I'm thinking it's like maybe just a t-shirt or something like that.
Like a gift certificate to Walmart.
Yeah. So I could use that. I buy action figures, So I like my toys. So anyway, so
like $100 gift certificate to Chicken Emporium.
Listen, I could do that too. I like to eat, that. I like to keep the girlish figure somehow, So, but they sent me that. And it was like I was a tearjerker, man. I mean, this is the Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame. This is not Vince McMahon's, cyberspace wrestling Hall of Fame. This is the actual brick and mortar in Wichita Falls, Texas, that I've been going to for the past 15, 20 years since I was a kid.
I still think they need to make a real movie about the Texas boys, the Vander, whatever.
Von Erichs, they are. They just
because they talked to me about it once, like one little tiny person involved in the family, but at that time, literally, they were waiting for some huge studio to come in and do it for them. And
JD, you want to hear something funny? This is something, speaking of wrestling movies. Do you remember Dr. D. David Schultz, who slapped John Stossel at the Garden, at Madison Square Garden?
I believe so.
That big lawsuit that Vince McMahon asked him, is wrestling fake? And they went in the beneath Madison Square Garden by the locker rooms, and John Stossel was there interviewing him for 2020, and Dr. D turned around and slapped him in the face and said, "Do you think this is fake?" Boom, slapped him in the face. There was a whole lawsuit.
I remember that. Kind of was it the 90s or 2000s?
In the 1984, I believe.
84.
Well, long story short, I received this past May Lifetime Achievement Award, a pro wrestler men's wrestling award of 2019 at the Cauliflower Alley by my peers in Las Vegas, and it was a big honor. I had Jim Ross call me up the stage, JR. Him and Kevin Sullivan was my presenter and presented me the award, roasted me a little bit, but it was a good time. And I look out in the audience, you have Dory Funk Jr., the Barbarian, Haku, Sergeant Slaughter, Jerry Briscoe, you name it, they're there. John Miles.
Yeah, you remember the dark stories of wrestling I was telling you about? I was watching like some of them. I didn't watch all of them, but I watched like 3 or 4. But I was laughing the one who was it that knocked Jim McMahon out? Bret the Hitman Hart or something like that?
Yes.
Laid him out or something like that?
I was just with the referee. I spent the weekend with the referee, Earl Hebner, who did that, the Montreal screw job.
Yeah.
They called it.
Yeah.
But I wanted to tell you something. It was so I got this award. So at the Cauliflower Alley, and when I was there, I met Dr. D. David Schultz, and I never met him before because he's been retired from wrestling. He went into bounty hunting, and a producer calls me up, says, "We want you to play Dr. D. David Schultz in a story about his bounty hunting career." He goes, "You look like him."
I wonder if they're trying to play off of Dog because you have the blonde hair and brown.
Well, he was the original Dog. He was.
No, I know. I'm just saying, visual wise, I'm curious.
Yeah, he makes Dwayne Chapman or whatever his name is look like Really a dog. I mean, this guy, Dr. D. David Schultz, is a real deal. If you research him or Google him, it's phenomenal. And if they're going to make this movie with all these reenactments and have me in it, I mean, I don't know if it's going to be a documentary or an actual film, but they called me, they contacted me. So that might be my next project. So they actually
That's very
requested
cool.
me to do that.
Very cool.
So,
All right, but wait, I got to remember, me and Andrew can go forever, but we have another guest, Jeanette. Okay. Jeanette, what is a future project or something you have plans for in the next couple of years that you want to really see to fruition?
So I would love to do something big with like comedy.
Comedy. Yeah, that seems to be a recurring thing. You like comedy? Is that your main love from an acting standpoint?
I love everything. I love different characters, fun scripts. I love really everything. I grew up watching like Saturday Night Live and things like that, and I think something like like comedy wise.
Yeah, this is the only thing. Okay, and I'm going to bring this up, I think, in the second half, but I'll touch upon it for a second because that's a great subject of the difference between older generations when there was only like 5 channels to watch,
Yeah.
and newer generations where they have like 300 channels or whatever it is. And I'm sure there's positives, negatives to that. We can hit it in the second half. But I found that one negative was that when we grew up, you watched whatever, when you only had 5 channels, you watched whatever was the best.
Right.
And that usually was something from way before you were born. It was usually way like old movies, old TV shows, Bewitched, I Dream of Jeannie, which were like basically before I was even born. They were like 67, 66.
Yep.
Yeah.
5. And then old movies, Errol Flynn movies, John Wayne, Bing Crosby, Bob Hope, Dean Martin, and Jerry Lewis. All these old.
They even have the old serials. The serials from the 20s were even on.
Yeah, and that's the one thing is a lot of this younger generation, if it's not from around when they're around,
yeah,
they have no clue. Like they don't know any of the older stuff that's before they were born. Or
well, I remember some kids saying to me, "I won't watch that crap. It's not even in color. It's in black and white."
Yeah, but
that's film history.
Standpoint back then, they didn't have special effects. They didn't have all that stuff. So they had to do it with really brilliant writing and brilliant acting.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And like emotion. Literally, almost every actor had to be a classically trained actor because it really the dialogue they had to throw and the amount of holding everyone's attention with just their facial expressions, special effects to fall back on.
Yeah.
They had to like just really be. You gotta watch. He's practicing his horror film that he's working on now. It's the Blade and the Salami. It's gonna be a insane,
or the salami slasher.
It's a slasher, but then it's not always slashing because slashing refers to edge. Sometimes he beats people to death with a salami.
Yeah, I beat him in the head. And
so he knocks him. So he knocks him out with the salami. And,
hey, enough about my sex life.
I need to go grocery shopping so bad. You open my fridge, there's nothing. There's no food. Nothing in there.
Okay, so but yeah, let's get back to you. So but a big love of yours is you want to do a straight comedy for the mixed ones you've done.
I love horror and horror comedy, and I love dramas and romance and all that stuff. But it'd be cool to do definitely like all laughs, all comedy, just something silly, like all.
Gotcha. I mean, I have comedies. They tend to be more slapstick, physical comedies than like dialogue.
Comedy movie. What's your favorite?
Yeah, I just grew up on like Jerry Lewis, or Don Knotts, His Gun in the West. You remember that? His Gun in the West.
Oh yeah, God.
Don Knotts, where he can't hit the broadside of a barn with a gun. Yep. Like a super hot chick that's a sharpshooter behind him doing all the shooting for him.
And what was the movie he played a dolphin or a fish in?
No, you're talking about The Incredible Mr. Limpet.
That's it. I remember that too. Yep. I remember that.
He single-handedly saves World War II.
My favorite Jerry Lewis movie was. Hello, ladies. What was the Nutty Professor?
Lady.
Oh, the Nutty
Hello,
Professor.
ladies.
The Nutty Professor.
The Nutty Professor.
Yeah.
The Nutty
I
Professor.
loved him most when he was with Dean Martin. I did
Oh,
like
yeah, that
the
was the
film,
best.
but I thought him and Dean Martin, the way they played off each other was just amazing. And
What was your favorite comedy duo?
comedy duo, I would say out of duos, probably if you're talking old school, I was more of an Abbott and Costello guy.
Me too, Abbott and Costello.
But
Privates.
you can't really. Yeah, I would say Dean Martin and Jerry Lewis were probably my favorite, though. Those are the ones I had to watch every movie they made, and I grew up watching them, and it was good. You didn't really have a ton of them. You had Bing Crosby,
And Bob Hope.
Roland Hardy. You had Abbott and Costello. You had Bing Crosby and Bob Hope, and then you had who we're referencing, Jerry Lewis and Dean Martin. Those are pretty much the ones I know of. But
The one I love above all, the Marx Brothers and the Three Stooges.
yeah, those aren't really comedy duos. Those are more like kind of TV.
Slapstick.
Yeah, but yeah. Although, like literally, you had kind of two different Three Stooges. You had the bald guy, and then you had the other dude. I forget.
Mo, Larry, and
No, but
Curly. Yeah.
One of the members changed.
You had Mo, Larry, and Curly. Then you had Mo, Larry, and Shemp. Then you had Mo, Larry, and Curly Joe. Then Curly Joe Besser, because Curly wound up having a stroke when he was young. And
Curly was my favorite out of those.
yeah, Curly was the one. He was everybody's favorite, but he had a
Yeah,
stroke.
Kind of like Mo. I don't know how angry he got. Like.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we would do the headbutt. He put his head down and.
Yep. When I wake in the morning, I look
or
more
the
like
the
Larry.
two fingers in the eyes, and then yeah,
That was more of a Mo thing. Yeah, that was a Mo.
Yep. That was a Mo thing, blocking it. Put the block.
Yeah.
They used to do that to Roddy Piper. Roddy Piper would always go like this, give the fingers to the eye poke. So everybody got wise to it. So all the boys started to rib him. They put the hand up like this and then pop him, then beam him. And he'd start getting frustrated. He goes, "You're killing my gimmick." So he used to always do the eye poke. So
that is definitely that's funny. It's been we still got more before we have the break, but I just want to say it's amazing. It's nice to get to know you, Jeanette, and then me and Andrew have always had a connection. So it's good to see him live as opposed to just blathering at him on.
Hey man, you and I went through losses together, right?
Yeah,
family losses. Yeah, we shared a lot of. Me and you had a lot of emotion going on between us over the years. Me and you.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff.
Yep.
Well, because we've always stayed, we've always kept up our correspondence as real life. So.
Yep.
You're one of the few people I always check in on to make sure you're.
Yeah, me too. I mean, I'm always checking out to make sure you're up there and around, and because I mean, there's a lot of ups and downs in this business, and sometimes you don't see or hear from somebody for a while. You wonder if they're okay. And you're one of the few guys that really has, and I'm talking even in the wrestling business, out of the wrestling business or the wrestling business, you are one of the few guys who has really, really been there, when I needed you. So
yeah, except on Wednesdays, because that's my Greta Garbo drag karaoke night. So, and no one's allowed to see me when I wear the pink dress. So that's a secret.
Was that you in the fishnets that night?
Yeah, that's a secret, everybody. So no one's allowed to tell anybody, okay? But and it's also great to see you getting going, Jeanette, and I hope that this ends up being a passion you pursue. If you only started a year and a half ago, and yet ever since then you've been in a new project every month, that shows a lot of fervor and commitment and chasing it and trying to get better. And those are the key ingredients to actually making it work.
And she's a Jersey girl.
For a while. And I really had no need to shoot any more shorts after 13 short films. But I shot one recently just to keep my chops up. You know what I mean? And also to help out the actors involved because she had no nothing. So
very energizing,
periodically pursue. So I'm sorry. Go ahead, Jeanette.
It's very energizing. It's very exciting,
It is. And the key is just being able to prolong it. So like, keeping that same energy 5 years from now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And because anytime you start something new, if you like it, it's very easy to be energized about it. But the difference is making it a career is 5 years from now, even when you don't feel like being energized about it, you still got to kind of make yourself do it.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, I mean, wrestling is a great thing. I mean, example of that.
Where do they see me try to get up out of this chair?
Young Bucks. And you talk about the Young Bucks all the time, Andrew, but trying to explain to them that, yeah, you're all this now, the first year in, but let's see where you are 10 years from now.
Yep.
You know, and I try to tell filmmakers this too, or actors, or whatever. If you have trouble fulfilling your commitments in the first year and being loyal to your word and holding your word and backing up your commitments in the first year of you starting something, then I don't want to even think about what you're going to be like when you get bigger, because that's when you establish your traits or your habits or your whatever is in the beginning. And so if in the beginning you're already flaky or that, dude, then I'm not going to put you in. Even if I had a huge project, I would not put you in it
because they're in the wrong business.
You flaked on a short film of mine. Why the hell would I want to put you in a
feature,
$1 million feature film of mine? You know what I mean? So, you know, and then it's funny because a lot of people in the industry in the beginning think the opposite, like that. Oh, it's just a short film, or it's just this. I can flake on it and go do whatever some thing is. And I think, no, man, you got to hold to what you say, because that's what develops your.
It all adds up. You know what I mean? It all adds up. It builds your character, builds your perseverance, it builds your ability to do things. So you know, I mean, it's just that if you can't handle it, and if you're flaking out for the first year or two, I mean, then how are you going to handle it in the long haul? You know, you're in the wrong business. I've always said that to people.
Yeah, so. Definitely. Okay, so we're gonna go. Andrew, we talked about your future projects, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so we talked to Jeanette about your future project. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna take a 5-minute break. Let you go to the bathroom, do whatever you want. Andrew can play with his salami. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean that as like literal.
Leave my salami alone.
I didn't mean it as a pun or like a phallic.
Off camera.
Like that.
Oh, he wants me to go to the bathroom and play with my salami.
Oh, I was talking about your salami, the stuff you've been eating on screen.
Yeah, listen, it's delicious.
I didn't.
Wink, wink, hint, hint. That's great. I love it.
Anyway, you guys, 5-minute break. We'll come back. We'll talk about what I talked about a second ago about difference in age and old TV and old movies, and then the positive and negative of today's age, growing up now and growing up then, as far as film and TV and what you watch. And then another thing I want to talk about is the new movie, The Joker, because it's good. It's kind of dialing in a lot of controversy. We can talk about that. I haven't seen it.
I haven't seen it yet either.
We can talk about just the general concept of why some people love it, some people don't love it. And then we're gonna, when we come off the break, the first thing that's gonna happen is I'm gonna say, what's the best film you've seen in the last 2 years and why?
Okay.
Okay.
Perfect.
Any kind of film you want, a Netflix film or whatever it is that you saw in the last couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, we're gonna be back in 5, you guys. Lola, say back in 5. Back in 5, everybody.
Bye, Lola.
Okay.
I'm here.
Oh, there you are. What were you doing, Jeanette, that you had to block out this camera, man?
I saw
Man,
a photo of Black
I was
Mirror.
talking to Andrew, man, about when I mentioned the salami, man.
Wolf.
Salami.
Over my camera when I'm not using it because that Black Mirror episode, it freaked me out. So
Wait, it freaks you out? What?
With what?
that show Black Mirror, it freaks me out.
Oh, are you talking about where they do different things?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Is that the most descriptive thing I've ever heard of a show? Are you talking about that show that does?
Okay, hold on. They do different things. Like one of them is like they do like the American they do this like American.
You know the movie that had like things in it that did things, and then there was things, and then there was some people that did more things, and then they did the thing. You know the movie I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, so it was called The Thing.
So in the Black Mirror,
it was the thing that did the thing about the things with the things of the things. You know that movie called The Thing.
So in the Black Mirror, one of them is framing.
Black Mirror. That's what I missed. Black Mirror. It's like a new version of a Twilight Zone, right?
Yes. One episode one season they frame a British someone in the British hierarchy, and basically they make him screw a pig on live TV.
What?
Yeah. But you don't see it. Yeah, and then there's another one where this lawyer has his lawyer and his wife meet up with her friends, and they have brain chips in their head. Okay, brain chips. But they have the ability to view their past, and so he finds out that his wife has been reliving during their intimate time, that she's been reliving an affair not an affair, her ex-boyfriend and her intimately, and then her husband figures this out and basically cuts it out of his head. Another one.
Yeah, no thanks, man. I like the Twilight Zone was scary, but it was a little more.
Well, this makes you more think.
And more.
Twilight Zone made you think.
Well,
and a lot of the horror was suggested.
So have y'all? I don't know if y'all seen Get Out. No. The main character of Get Out is in one of the Black Mirror seasons.
Wait, Get Out? Is that where like someone it's like Fight Club? They should never talk about it, but they did anyway, and talk about the Greta Garbo karaoke Wednesdays.
Oh my God.
But no, the main character of Get Out is the main character in Black Mirror. In another episode, basically they exercise for money, well, whatever they use for their currency, and you can, in order to escape that life, you basically go on a American Idol and do this America's Got Talent, or whatever they call it. And that's the only way you can get out of exercise, basically having this mundane life.
Wow.
And basically it's ripping on American Idol.
Okay, guys. Hey, start the show, Mark. Let's get going.
I wasn't
even going to eat anything, but then now watching everybody eat, I was like, I got to make some food, man.
I mean, it is a show that I recommend you watching. It makes you think. It's called Black Mirror. It's on Netflix.
Mark, are we rolling?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we're on. You guys were having an insane conversation about Show Out, which is a documentary about Greta Garbo Karaoke Wednesday. And we saw people like Obama there, which who would have thought? And then, you know, and then Trump was the star of the show. It was amazing, man. It was like, he made a great Marilyn Monroe. But
it's going to be awesome.
Yeah. Okay, anyway, enough of the diddle daddling. Jeanette, what is the best film you've seen in the last 2 years and why?
Gosh, I'm not prepared for this.
Come on, in 5 minutes, if you can't get prepared for that question, we got to work on some stuff.
I know. I watch a lot of like series. I watch a lot of crime shows. It's not.
Yeah, you can't say Law and Order. It's not gonna.
No, I don't. Can I say a series that I really liked? It wasn't.
Yeah, you can talk about a TV series.
No, HBO. I love Amy Adams, and she did Sharp Objects, and I thought that was amazing. Did you ever see it?
I'm not familiar with it. I know who Amy Adams is. She's the one that plays. Was that Lois Lane or something?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that was a really good one. I'm trying to think of other good shows or movies.
Hey, what we talked about earlier is really good. The Boys.
Oh yeah.
Amazon Prime. I thought that was very original.
I heard that was really good as well. I gotta check that out.
Yeah, I just thought it was original. It was like all the well, actually, I wouldn't say it's kind of a derivative off Watchmen, because in Watchmen the heroes were kind of a-holes. There was a lot of a-hole heroes.
Yeah.
But it was done very originally, where like the heroes are all like propaganda marketed images that are really like just straight up a-holes. But yeah, I mean there are some great series out there. I know my mom just watched that Orlando Bloom series, Carnival Row.
Yeah, it's supposed to be really good.
Yeah, and I watched it along with her, and it was good. It was good. It took a second to get into. Some series are like that, and then the DC Titans on DC Universe Titans.
I haven't watched that yet.
Yeah, it's very good, man. Very good. It's like their version of all the Netflix Marvel ones. So it's like a rated R DC version of when Robin is trying to become Nightwing.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's very rated R, violence, cussing, all that kind of stuff. It's interesting. But no, that's cool. Now, Andrew, what about you? Movies?
Well, if you're going to go for while we're on the subject of series, I liked two series on the History Channel. One was Project Blue Book that was out just this past year, and I think it's come back out. I think in November or December. Project Blue Book about the aliens, the whole Area 51 and all the cover-ups over the years from the 1950s into the early 60s.
Is it a documentary or it's a series?
No, it's a TV series. It's a TV series, reenactments of the old Project Blue Book stories.
Gotcha.
That was based in the 1950s. That was phenomenal. And the other one I love, and I just think is just tremendous. I love that. Well, it's sort of a reality sort of series, The Curse of Oak Island. How they're looking at that island, Nova Scotia. Yeah, I love that.
Curse of like come up the one where they all get thrown in there, and it's like a hot horror.
No, it's an actual ongoing series, like a reality series where they're trying to dig up this island and find hidden treasure from the Knights Templar that was left behind. It's pretty cool. What would you call it, Jeanette?
I don't know. It's like a
reality
like
mystery. Yeah, like
please let them find something. Please.
They do. I think this season.
Oh, good. Okay. I'll keep
yeah.
Getting, like frustrated.
The producers had to actually put it there for them to find it. But yeah,
probably. You never know. But as far as movies go, I saw a movie called The Angel Is Fallen. With
I couldn't do that, man. Like literally, I was like 5 minutes in that movie, and I'm like having deja vu. I'm like, wait a minute, didn't he make this exact same movie with Jamie Foxx as the president like 5 years ago or something like that?
Yeah, something a while ago. Yeah, but I loved it. I thought it was great.
I mean, it was good, but I'm like, man, this is the same exact with a couple
premise, the same premise.
I found out that it's based on a trilogy of novels that are exactly like that. It just the same thing happens over and over and over again.
But I didn't see the Jamie Foxx movie. I just saw this one, and
White House Down or whatever.
Yes, White House Down. That was it, or something like that. Or
yeah, and I'm like going, this is because I saw that other one. I'm like, wait a minute, they just switched out Jamie Foxx with Morgan Freeman, and
yeah, it was great. I thought it was great.
It's like someone in the government that betrays them all and tries to kill the president.
I thought Nick Nolte stole the movie.
Yeah. Oh, I love him. I thought that was awesome.
Yep.
Seen him in so long.
The other movie I really liked was Avengers Endgame.
Yeah.
Loved it. Loved
That
it.
was great. That was great. The one that came out tomorrow, I didn't really like the Spider-Man one very much.
No, I didn't see the Spider-Man
because I hated Mysterio in the car. That he was always the weakest, least interesting.
Yeah, he's an illusionist.
Yeah, the villains, and so that they made the movie with him as the villain. I was like, really, dude? He was probably the most boring out of all.
They could have found anyone else. Could have Scorpion, Kraven the Hunter, a million other guys.
Yeah, you know? And I'm like, wow, okay. But supposedly, I am looking forward to seeing where they're going to go with it now. Because I know they're going to make another Avengers, but it's going to be all new Avengers.
Yep. All different characters. Some of the characters, the B characters, which
and I'm not sure. I wanted Winter Soldier to become Captain America. I'm not sure about. I like Falcon. I like the actor that plays Falcon, but that was kind of weird juxtaposition. I mean, I think that does happen in the comics that Falcon.
It happens after the Winter Soldier was Captain America.
Yeah, but maybe because he's too popular as the Winter Soldier. He's too much of a popular.
Yeah, they're giving him a TV series called The Winter Soldier and the Falcon.
Yeah,
they're having a Netflix series or something like that. Oh no, Marvel streaming. And then they're having the Vision and the Scarlet Witch are getting their own series, and that takes place before.
How to love an android in 10 easy steps.
Exactly. Well, he's mechanical.
Yeah. Yeah. You don't have to ever worry about ED.
No, not with him. No, he's his own Viagra.
He just hits a button.
That's right.
Okay, insta erection. We're good.
A solid salami.
Yeah.
Hey, exactly. That was good.
All right, guys, come on, man. Don't be making Jeanette uncomfortable, man. Come on now.
That's on me.
I'm getting sick. It's awful.
Yeah.
Gotta take some Allegra.
We're gonna end with the Joker thing, but let's go into right now what I brought up earlier. Let's talk about the difference between today's generation growing up and what they watch and what they see with 300-400 channels than the generation that me and Andrew grew up. And this is a great example because we have Mark and Jeanette, who I'm pretty sure grew up when there was already cable and 200 channels, 300 channels. Mm-hmm. And me and Andrew, who grew up when there was only like 5 channels, and
and the cars were full of horses.
An hour to fiddle UHS or whatever you had to fiddle thing for an hour to see a boob. But
the blue movies.
Yeah, well, Benny Hill. It's the only reason you watched Benny Hill was that
Benny Hill was for the cleavage.
He had bare naked women in it. So when you were 12, that was like midnight. You'd be in whatever that middle part was. You had to turn it to the middle UC or whatever.
UF channels.
UF channels. You had to play with the dial forever.
Yep.
Even come in part way. But okay, so the one positive I would say when you had very few channels is it made you watch a bunch of great films and great TV that was made prior to your birth, that was way before, going all the way back to the beginnings of cinema.
Because they didn't have programming like we have now. They didn't have content. Now we have
5 channels. So literally,
we only have 5 channels, and it was only television was still as much as television. It's only been around at that time for 30 years or whatever, or 40 years. So the content was a lot more limited, right? It was a lot more limited. Now you have an abundance of films, TV series, sitcoms, movies, documentaries,
I'm like,
historicals.
I have a list of shows my friends recommend me to watch, and I'm like, I don't have time to watch them.
You'll never have
time. But now,
so much.
Here's the so here's the positive in my mind of your guys' generation. In our generation, there would be time periods, especially on Monday, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, where literally there was nothing to watch. There was nothing. Literally, there was entertaining. You'd have
there was a Phil Donahue
talk show, or you'd have soap operas that you didn't want to watch, and there'd be like time periods for like 2 hours during the week where literally there was like nothing interesting to watch on TV. So you do have that. There is always something you can find in your 300 channels gonna.
JD, do you remember what happened? We had to sit up till 1 o'clock in the morning to watch creature feature movies or chiller theaters and stuff like that to get the horror movies.
No, I remember Saturday.
Saturday at 2 or 3 o'clock matinee.
Morgan.
The matinee shows at 1 o'clock or 3 o'clock. You know, I remember those too. But during the week, you had to stay up till 1, 2 o'clock in the morning to get those, you know, those specials. And I remember we used to have like NBC used to run during. No, it was ABC used to run Planet of the Apes week, the 4:30 movie, and all week long for 5 days you'd have Planet of the Apes week. Then you'd have Godzilla week. Then you'd have Vincent Price week or a Boris Karloff Universal week. You know, it was stuff like that was pretty cool.
No, but I mean, I thought the advantage of that though was you saw some brilliant films.
Yep.
Otherwise not seen. I remember seeing the last movie Boris Karloff ever did on
Targets.
Vincent Price's Horror Theater on Saturdays. It was Kung Fu Theater and then Vincent Price's Horror. And then Raven, and it was Vincent Price, Peter Lorre, and Boris Karloff. And
the young Jack Nicholson.
Those three guys were giants. Those were the giants of like horror.
And a young Jack Nicholson was in that.
Yeah, I remember him in it, but
he was in it. Young Jack Nicholson.
Yeah.
So,
he would have
hi,
really...
Morris. How are you?
Yeah. But it allowed us to see these brilliant films you would have never normally seen, like Errol Flynn from the whatever.
Oh, the old Errol Flynn movies were great.
Pirate King or whatever the heck that was.
Humphrey Bogart films.
Bogart, Cagney.
Yeah. I remember watching Angels with Baby Faces on the 4:30 movie.
Redford and Newman and.
Yep.
I remember seeing just obscure films like Barfly, and they had to come out with which was or I'm also thinking Mariel Hemingway. I'm thinking just old school actors. And then I see, like we were talking about earlier, there's a lot of the younger generation. They don't, if it wasn't around in their time period, they have no idea about it.
I remember we were exposed to great classical trained actors like Laurence Olivier and Oliver Reed and actors like that were just tremendous. I mean, so as a child growing up, I managed to get all these accents down. You know what I'm saying? And you had the old Cockney accents and stuff like that. Then
we talked about there was no special. They couldn't rely on
so they have to be
special effects, computer effects. A lot of them had to do with acting, straight out with acting. And then you had great comedians back then too. You had the movies. Remember Stir Crazy with Richard Pryor and Gene Wilder. Yeah. Remember Richard Pryor in the social worker's office where he's trying to make her think he's crazy and going to the desk.
You had the Dom DeLuise, Burt Reynolds movies too.
Yeah, Cannonball Run. So Jeanette, did you watch? Growing up with a bunch of channels, did you ever go back and watch older movies and older TV shows?
Yeah, all the time. My mom always would watch.
Because your mom influenced it. Your mom wanted to.
Movies, and I would watch Nick at Night with her. Like we'd watch Green Acres and I Dream of Jeannie and Bewitched and.
So she is cultured.
Yeah, I know a lot about those movies, and I know Fatso, and I loves that movie. Yeah, I do know a lot about.
Now, Jeanette, did you ever watch Smokey and the Bandit? That's my favorite film.
No.
You're gonna watch it. Are you gonna do your home? You're gonna do your homework. You're gonna watch it. Then you're gonna message me.
You know who Burt Reynolds is, Jeanette?
Oh yeah, yep.
You know who Sally Fields is? Yep. So Sally Fields, that was her debut, really.
Okay.
Burt Reynolds was already pretty big at that time.
Jackie Gleason. Okay, this is my impression of Jackie Gleason.
Yeah, from the Heimler, he's in that.
Junior, get in the car.
All the Burt Reynolds movies pretty much extended Jackie Gleason's
career.
Pretty much.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Because that was all he was in. Hey, remember Clyde? Left Turn.
Every which way but loose, and any which way you can.
Man, Clint Eastwood with the big orangutan.
Yep, I like the best. Ruth Gordon was the best in that. When she goes, they look at that ape crapping all over the place, eating all of my Oreo cookies, and he goes and kisses her, and she goes, "Why'd you go and kiss me for, you goddamn ape?" I love Ruth Gordon.
One thing that was interesting about Clint Eastwood, though, when he was doing all those films and Dirty Harry and all that kind of stuff,
Yep.
is he used a lot of the same actors.
Sandra Locke.
He was very loyal. He would use the same actors over and over and over again.
Yep.
That same girl as his love interest.
Sandra Locke was the girl, and he used Harry Gardino a lot. He used I can't think of his name.
Yeah, because the guy that plays the trucker in Smoking the Bandit series, I'm sorry, they plays in I forget his name, Eastwood. Used that same guy with the Texan or the Southern accent.
Yep.
A lot of, I forget his name. He plays always.
What's his name? He's he's the singer. He sang the song Eastbound and Down.
Yeah.
I can't think of his name.
But he was, which was very unheard of at the time. Usually, you did not your big stars like a Clint Eastwood.
Well, you knew him as the country singer. He was a country singer.
Upcomers and new
Jerry Reed.
Yeah, they would want to use big stars like that, like Eastwood, to introduce new actors that the studios were trying to push.
Okay, here's a little bit of trivia for you.
He's like, I want my people, same actors, and those actors really, besides being in his films, weren't really in anything else. That was pretty much their career.
Yep. Here's a little bit of trivia for you. What legendary football player did Clint Eastwood, Burt Reynolds, always use in his films?
With that guy from the Dolphins, right, or something?
No. Pittsburgh Steelers, Terry Bradshaw, and
that's
Green. Right. And he used me and Joe Green in it all the time too.
Yeah, Steelers. Yep. The one movie wasn't a very good movie, but it was the only movie that Burt Reynolds and Clint Eastwood were ever in, and that was like good. Where they play with the cop and Burt was a private dick, and they're always like measuring the size of each other's guns and.
Yep. Heat.
What was it called?
Heat.
Was it?
Heat. Heat.
Oh, really? Before they used Heat for the other one?
Yeah, I think it was Heat. So,
yeah, it was the only film they ever made together, and it was towards the end of. Well, I mean, East was still going, but it was towards.
I think it was more the. It was like the mid '80s, right? Was it the mid '80s?
Yeah, it was when they were both probably like late '40s, mid '40s, late '40s, maybe early '50s. And Eastwood has always been kept going, but this was probably the end of Burt Reynolds' kind of career.
He didn't. I think he got better on. He made his comeback on Boogie Nights, and it went nowhere.
Yeah, but from between the movie I'm referencing and Boogie Nights, there was nothing for Burt Reynolds, and then after
nothing at all. No, nothing.
Right,
that was his proverbial comeback. Yep.
Yeah, because Burt Reynolds was never a brilliant actor. He was just he played one role very good. He played the stud guy very good. He didn't really have any kind of range as an actor or anything like that.
Best Little Whorehouse in Texas with Dolly Parton. That was still the Bandit. That was the Bandit.
Yeah, he's always played the end, but a lot of actors have made a career on that. There's not very many actors with great range or actresses with great.
Well, if you ask me, what's you call it? I can't think of his name. Samuel L. Jackson plays every role the same. Every role is motherfucker. You know.
Well, there's one.
No, he had the Jedi Knight when he played what's his name?
Mace Windu. Mace Windu.
That was the only role he played differently.
Mm-hmm.
Everything else.
Keep telling me in between each take. We got to do that again. Hush.
Okay, hold on. What about when he played Nick Fury?
That was still motherfucker. You know, it's just without the motherfuckers in it. That's the same character.
Yeah, but Gene Hackman made a career off being Gene Hackman. Gene Hackman
was the same thing too. Yeah.
You know,
but everybody says Samuel L. Jackson. Samuel L. Jackson plays the same character every movie.
There's a lot of actors that fall in that category. There's way more of those actors than there are ones with giant range. That's why I always gave the Pacino and De Niro. I always gave De Niro way more props because De Niro had far more range.
Yeah, he could do everything from comedy.
Pacino was just Pacino in every film, where De Niro would do like that Louisiana thing in Cape Fear, to Frankenstein's monster, to you know what I mean. He would throw like a wide variety of range.
He did the comedy. He played the in-laws for the father-in-law for
Ben Stiller.
Ben Stiller, yes. I was going to say Jerry Stiller, yeah. So it was pretty cool. So
yeah, and then you had but even like Faye Dunaway was always kind of Faye Dunaway, and in whatever she did. The one exception during that same time period, Glenn Close had a lot of range.
Glenn Close was amazing.
He's still
Glenn
amazing.
Close had a lot of
Yeah,
variety.
Glenn Close was just amazing. Cher had a lot of range.
She did. I remember her
She
doing.
did. You know, she did. You know, I mean, who was it?
It
what's
was
the
like
other
a
one?
derivative of Elephant Man, right? Like the mask.
The Mask. Yeah.
Your video,
So,
Andrew.
I know it went out. Hold on a second. There you are.
Okay. Now, Jeanette, what is an old school actor you like? Are you
Hello.
monologuing again? Either that or I
I
can't hear your sound. One or the other.
I love Jack Nicholson, De Niro, Paul Newman. Like Cool Hand Luke's a great movie. Yeah.
Paul Newman. Yeah, Paul Newman had some moments. I actually love Paul Newman in Color of Money, which is when he was older.
Yes. I liked them in.
What are you guys taking turns with your video going?
No, you know what it is. You know what everybody and their mother are calling me because I'm booked tomorrow night on a couple of wrestling shows tomorrow night and Saturday. So
Don't they know you're on StormCrow Dreamers?
you're being live fed on my show right now on my Facebook. So
I was going to say okay. So what was the other thing we were going to talk about? We were going to talk about that, and then we were going to talk about the Joker. Okay, so
yes.
a lot of controversy about the Joker. A lot of people saying brilliant acting job.
I think he's great.
But other people are saying it's really slow paced, and which I don't understand why they didn't understand that. I mean, it's always been portrayed as a character study of
Yep.
why he created the Joker. So anytime you have a character study, it's going to be really slow paced and mainly acting thing. But for some reason, you still have people going to it expecting like giant fights between the Joker and Batman.
Yeah, it's they don't
Quite
expect.
yet.
It's the development of the character. It's character development. Like the first Captain America movie, people said it was so slow, but it was the bringing up World War II, how he became Captain America. The Joker is the same thing too, but I don't think this Joker is in Batman's universe, is it?
Yeah, Bruce Wayne is in that film.
He's in it.
Basically, in that film, I hear Bruce Wayne is a little kid.
Okay.
So they're trying to show it as like the creation of the Joker. Batman's still a little kid. His parents are still alive. And what made the Joker. But it was a character study. It's meant to win awards. It's meant to win awards for the director. It's meant to win awards for the actors. That's what it's one of those type of films that was created specifically to win critics over.
Yep.
You know, and win awards. And it's a smart move by DC because it's basically we're making a character study, heavy drama, award-winning type film, but we're layering a thin layer of a comic book movie on top of it.
Yep.
But what I don't understand though is if Bruce Wayne is still a kid in that movie, then how does within the DC universe were they relatively around the same age or not a big jump?
They're playing with that, saying no, it's not. They're not following canon. They're saying they're playing with that whole concept, saying
It's the multiverse. The multiverse. DC has the 72 universes, the new 72.
No, Earth 90. Earth 90.
It's basically saying the Joker. But you got to remember, in this movie, the Joker's maybe mid-20s, late 20s, early 30s, and they're saying Bruce Wayne is like whatever. So it's not like there's a huge gap. I haven't seen the film because I'm not that big into character studies. I'm not that big into slow-paced character studies. Now all my films have character development, but I like kinetic energy. I like movement. You know what I mean?
Your stuff moves.
I watch films the same way I write films. You know what I mean? Films I like to watch have a lot to do with also how I like to write films. So I like kinetic movement, energy. If a film's too slow for me, no matter how good it is, I struggle trying to get through it because I lose focus. But
I got an idea for the next short film. It's going to be literally a 10-minute film. It's going to be called A Man, a Knife, and a Salami.
Yeah. Let's try about 4 minutes.
So yeah, 4 minutes for the Food Network.
We'll put some good music there. Put some of my noir lighting.
And then at the end, I'm going to say my supersada. Supersada was delicious.
Yeah. And then we'll have shadows of bodies hanging by chains in the back.
Yes, like meat hooks on the back, right?
Yeah.
So give him a little something to think about.
Okay, but wait, I want to hear your guys' opinion. So the big controversy, the Joker, Jeanette, go. What is your take on it?
I mean, okay, so there's a quote I like. It's art should comfort the disturbed and disturb the comfortable, right? So, I mean, I don't know. I feel like I would like it. I feel like it's disturbing. It talks about like mental health and this guy's slow deterioration.
Definitely talk about mental health. That's a big come off.
JD, she's my kind of girl.
I think I could dig it. Like, art should affect you. It should bring emotion to you. You know, it's
well, and that's another thing that I find funny. Everyone's like saying it's too disturbing, whatever. But that, to me, that's more indicative of the really whitewashed films that have been churned out for like the last 15 years, 20 years. Because before that went, there was a ton of really intense, disturbing films that was like a norm.
right.
From Psycho to original Halloween to
Hannibal Lecter.
of films that had some heavy duty psychology to it. And same thing with cartoons. When we were kids, cartoons were pretty heavy. Like, they were still funny and, you know, Bugs Bunny and all that stuff.
They had racial overtones.
Some heavy moral
And racial overtones.
You know what I mean? Underneath it.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And now, for the last 25 years, I'll look at a kid's cartoon and it's so whitewashed, blasé, no substance.
Well, you know what? I if you really listen to SpongeBob and like Rock,
yeah, but that's still back. That's like 80s, 90s, man.
But they had a lot of. As an adult, I watched a lot of SpongeBob because of my daughters growing up. I watched SpongeBob. I forgot what else. What was the show with Chucky? The little Chucky kid. I can't think of what it was called. Rugrats. They had a lot of adult humor.
Yeah.
Underlying.
That was done on purpose because
yes, to entertain the adults that are watching.
They used cartoons to try to teach kids tool sets that they were going to need.
But JD, it was not only meant because they knew that the parents were going to be sitting watching this stuff. Now, if you watch Barney as a parent, you wanted to shoot yourself in the head. But if you watched Rugrats, SpongeBob, and stuff like that, you were cracking up because some of the shit was legit fucking funny and aimed at the parents watching the show. So it was meant to be a buffer zone for the children.
Yeah, I see a lot less of that now in the
kids.
Like it's all this very blasé, like no.
Now it is, now it is.
Yeah. But anyway, so Jeanette, you give it a thumbs up, even though you haven't seen it yet. You think it's a great idea to do these heavy, dark.
Yeah, I like it. I totally dig it.
Yeah, and I agree, and I think it needs to go back that way. I mean, Blade and Blood, when that gets made, that thing is not easy. That's a tough, heavy-duty, emotional, whatever. But I think more films like that, we need in society because the world's tough out there, and if you try to whitewash it and act like people usually really relate to films that also kind of relate to reality. You know what I mean? In some way or another, that spark a connection. Their sound went out again, Jeanette.
Maybe something they can relate to, you know?
Yeah.
What you said?
Something they can relate to, something real. Yeah.
Yeah, even if you're watching a sci-fi, if it's a good sci-fi, it's making you relate or connect with something that you can relate to in your own life. You know what I mean? So even the original Star Wars, people understood like an orphan, a kid whose parents weren't there, he was picked on, he's with his uncle, and there's kind of this, you know, like we love you, but there's like a
love-hate relationship.
Yeah, I mean, anybody can relate to that, you know. And then when he finally finds out his father's Vader, you can relate to that too. That maybe your father's not kind of an unsavory type dude, but it's still your father. You know what I mean? So yeah, I mean, even sci-fis and fantasies and horrors, great ones will make you connect to in a way that deals with reality. You know what I mean? So, I think unfortunately there has been some great comic book movies, but there's been such a deluge of these family-oriented, sell a lot of toys.
Hey, what's wrong with the toys?
don't sometimes miss the mark as far as depth. You know what I mean? I think it's why a lot of people like the Black Panther one. It dealt with a lot of kind of heaviness. But no, I hear you. I just I think I don't know. I'll probably eventually watch it and force my way to it. I'm just not. I really have a hard time with really slow paced films. I start losing my attention span. I need like a, kinetic energy going on. But I'll probably at some point try to force my way through it and see what it's all about. Now I'm also looking forward to where the Avengers are going to go. Back to what you were talking about earlier. And what they're going to do in that whole universe. The new, I do like the humor between Thor and
the Guardians.
Yeah, with the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yep.
Where he's like, oh, everybody knows you're the leader.
Yeah, you know what? The only thing I don't like Thor. The first Thor movie was great. The second one was great. They turned Thor into sort of a clown. He's more Hercules in these movies, if you ask me. He's become more of a.
Funny because he did a different film. I forget what it was. A film that just came out recently, and he tried to do the exact same humor. Exactly.
The Huntsman. The Huntsman.
Men in Black.
Oh, Men in Black.
The new Men in Black, and they even used both of the leads are from Thor. Or
really?
Girl, Teresa, and
wow.
Thor, and they're the two Men in Black. The one that plays Thor and Valkyrie, and literally the same humor. It had to have been the same writer, man. I guarantee.
Oh wow.
The credits. If I looked at the credits, I guarantee you it was like some of the same writers they used on the Marvel movies, and it was literally the same humor. Same exact dry humor he does as Thor.
Wow. Yeah, I didn't like the way they depowered him.
They're doing films and they're just ripping off what made some other film original and funny, and then they take it and try to cookie cutter copy it into another film. They did the same thing with what's the Gentleman's the spy English film. There's like two of them out now, where it's
John Wick.
And they're very high energetic, high stunts.
Not John Wick, no.
No, it's Englishman, and then
the chessman.
Oh
or
no, it's the Kingsman.
The Kingsman.
So literally, I like both of those. I thought they were original. I thought they were doing something innovative. It's like their take on a James Bond, but it was very cool. Especially they added the they all called like tequila, whiskey, whatever. Like they added the Americans into it, and they're all named after liquors.
Yeah,
they're all named after like Lancelot and King Arthur's court. Then that same company took the same lead actor and same company, same writer, same everything, and went and made Robin Hood, the new Robin Hood with Jamie Lee Foxx.
I didn't see that.
And the same actor from The Kingsman, and it was literally the same fighting style, the same dialogue, the same humor, the same everything from The Kingsman. And they just basically said, we're going to do the exact same thing, but we're going to do it as Robin Hood.
Wow.
It was like the same fighting style, same camera style, same like literally everything. And they even literally used the same lead actor from Kingsman in it. And it was the same company. And I'm like going like, dude, literally stop, man. One thing is good because it's original when it's done. When you take it and then you try to copy it 100 times and do it in something else, it's no longer good, man. It was good. This is what happens when you have accountants making creative decisions.
Mm-hmm.
Because the accountant goes, well, that made us a lot of money, so just replicate that.
It's sequels.
It's sequels or no, man, it made money because it was original.
Yep.
If you copy it, it's not going to do that well, and they don't get it. And you have accountants making decisions and going, yeah, but mathematically it says it just did well. And therefore, but, math doesn't play into creative decision making. You know what I mean? So, and then it's annoying. It's like when Motley Crue came out. And next thing you know, you had like every record label in the industry was trying to throw out a Motley Crue replica clone.
Yeah.
And it was like, like.
But I did love Wasp, who was actually around before Motley Crue. I did love Wasp. I love Blackie Lawless with Wasp.
Yeah, but then they started getting like White Lion and all these.
No, but it just became glam. Glam itself. It was
just all these other bands that were trying to be like.
Everybody tried to sing like John Bon Jovi with that. Even Alice Cooper tried that Bon Jovi twang in his voice. A couple times.
But it didn't work. They would have like one hit song, but their album would like dive, and they would.
Yeah, there were a lot of one-hit wonders. But I mean, some of the bands that just continued after that were just still out. Like Poison still was successful, and
Warren Cherry.
Who? Buck Cherry?
No, Warren.
Warren was great. Warren was around for a while. They're still around. I love Warren. They didn't have one hit. They weren't a one-hit wonder. They had a shitload of hits.
Yeah.
So
I was saying that they're
Uncle Tom's Cabin was great. Nice. Cherry Pie.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of good songs from them. That's a good band.
I do remember Poison. I remember listening to Poison.
Poison was great. Poison. I saw them not too long ago. They're really good. So Bret Michaels and Poison are good.
What was I gonna say? But I just don't like it when you copycat, man. It's like literally, dude, just make something original. Like that was good because it was original. Don't just like take the exact same thing, throw a layer of paint on it, and then throw it out there.
Well, did you like the Justice League movie? I liked it. A lot of people panned it. I liked it.
Which one?
Justice League.
It wasn't bad. I
liked it.
They were at the same level as Marvel.
No, I thought they were just right there, neck and neck. You know what I loved about the Justice League movie? Their costumes were the costumes we grew up watching.
Yeah, but you got two now, right? Two Justice League movies?
No, just one.
Oh, well, you had the Batman versus Superman.
Yeah, you had
Superman, and then
Superman was kind of like a Justice League movie.
And then you had Wonder Woman.
And then Justice League, and then Aquaman afterwards.
Yeah.
But you know what? That's the one thing I always respected about Warner.
Now you have the guy that wrote Gunn. You had the guy that wrote some of the Marvel stuff coming over to write DC stuff.
Yeah, James Gunn. Yeah.
I've
always respected that about Warner Brothers. That they always respected the iconic costumes. Not like when they turned the X-Men all in black leather, or they turned Captain America into this stupid outfit with a helmet. No, I think that's the one thing they did. They shit on. No matter what they did, the Captain America costume, Captain America was great character. It was the character that kept the movie going for me, but you didn't have the iconic costume, and they said it doesn't look good in spandex. Captain America never wore spandex. He wore chainmail. So get it right, motherfuckers. That's what I always said. I'm a hardcore Cap fan.
You gotta understand, Andrew like spends half his life collecting comic book figures,
and action figures and comics.
Yeah.
I'm the man child. They call me in the wrestling business.
There is nothing wrong. If you love something, there is no age requirement on it, man.
No, absolutely not.
Whatever you love it.
It's called passion, JD, and we have a passion for what we like and what we believe in. You know?
I'm surprised they haven't made an action figure of you yet, Andrew.
They have. I have it downstairs.
Oh, I thought you meant me, Mark. I was like, oh my god.
Hold on. I'll be right back.
They tried, and then they stopped it because they couldn't put a Glasscock on the packaging.
Oh my god.
They were gonna say the new hero, the Glasscock.
Oh.
And then they had all the FDA and all the other groups like come.
Look,
I see it.
Offended. I'm playing with myself. I'm playing with myself.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's
great. That's one thing that's the one thing if Blade and Blood ever gets made that I want to do though is create collectible action figures.
Listen to me. We're gonna do it. JD. Blade and Blood action figures. McFarlane Toys.
Yeah.
And then
I think I'm gonna try to make them more of their collectibles. I'm not orienting towards kids because it's not a kid.
No, not at all.
I'm orienting towards collectors. They want to.
Just remember, mine would come with flicking tongue action.
No, it'd be like Spawn. You know how Spawn was? It was a rated R. But it had action figures.
Hey, that's a movie they should redo.
They're talking about it. I just read it at somebody said at New York Comic Con they were bringing it up. McFarlane
great series. I don't think they did it justice in the one film they made on it.
Nah, it became too corny and cheesy with the clown and with
No, they got to redo it as an R movie. You have to keep it that way.
It's got to be a horror movie. It's got to be.
I don't know.
amazing.
Are you familiar with that, Spawn, Jeanette? Your sound went bye-bye again.
Yeah, I'm familiar.
Yeah, so yeah, it's a very rated R comic book, and and yeah, you're right. It's a very dark comic book, and then they tried to it ended up they were trying to make it too superhero-y, and when they made that film, I don't know. Did you ever see the film that they tried to make off of it?
Mm-mm.
They had a film in like the late '80s, I think, or early '90s.
Early
90s.
92 or 93.
Yeah, based on it, and I think they were trying too hard to move Spawn into this more PG sell toys.
John Leguizamo played the clown.
Yeah, and it was
Oh, right.
stayed with. They should have done the Deadpool Logan thing and stayed in that rated R.
Yeah.
Realm.
Yeah.
But you know what's so funny? Hey, even when Deadpool came out, and it said a million times, same thing with Logan. This is rated R. It is rated R.
Yeah.
Parents were still taking their 10-year-old kids to it and then getting all pissed off at the company that made it, going,
Mhm.
oh my God, this isn't a superhero, this is for adults. Oh, you mean the one that says rated R?
Yeah. That's what happened. You know, because they still think superhero kids are for kids. Watchmen wasn't for kids.
Nope.
No, but I mean, but how much of a moron are you as a parent when you're looking at rated R and then you're upset that it's rated R?
Well,
And then they get
it's
upset,
more like it's more like their kids are wanting to go see it, and then the parents don't even know, or they're just too oblivious to the fact that movies
No,
have
the parents aren't even
ratings.
what their 10-year-old is going to see. They're, yeah, sure, go see it. And then
5 minutes in, there's 10
what
F-bombs.
happened in that film?
Or there's
5 minutes
blood.
into the film, there's 10 F-bombs and a TNA scene, and
Yeah, and his
Or blood just
his
slashing
tiny
everywhere.
baby hand.
wow.
Heads getting decapped by claws.
And katana swords.
Yeah, although I love Logan. I thought that was a great film.
It was.
Finally showing a realistic Wolverine. The guy's got blades on the end of his hand, but yet in all the old X-Men movies,
Hey, we were talking about Wolverine earlier too.
you stick people and nothing happens. You don't see blood. You don't see anything. And I thought it was great to take that character and show not only he's old and decrepit and he's struggling and
Mm-hmm.
stuff, but that.
But that doesn't make
Oh,
sense to me, because Logan is
Immortal.
why?
No, but if he didn't have the adamantium in him.
Oh, right.
No, the healing factor was taken away, supposedly.
No, I was
The
saying
healing-
adamantium was poisoning him, so it's.
Oh, that's right. Did they take that? That's what was causing him to age, right?
Yeah, if he didn't have the adamantium inside him, he would have, I don't know about live forever, but lived like a long time.
Right. It basically slowed
But
his
adamantium laced all through his body was poisoning him over and over.
Wow.
But I'm sorry, Jeanette, you came on superhero night because we have a superhero.
I like the bad guys though. I like the
What bad guys? What
The
bad guys?
reinforcer, Andrew Anderson.
like the villains. I'm a big Joker fan.
Yeah, Joker, and then you got Killmonger and Black Panther, and then you got.
Oh yeah.
I do like, or I like X-Men. I like the ones that are like
Magneto.
Love Magneto.
Yeah. I love Rogue's character. I love Jean Grey. So.
Yep.
Well,
I
Rogue
do-
was kind of a weird character. I remember one of the first comics I ever bought back in, I don't know, late 70s maybe. It was the one where Rogue appears at the door of the X-Men's mansion.
Yeah, and then in the X-Men's mansion or the Avengers mansion, and that's when she first appeared. She came.
No,
in,
I'm talking about when she appears and joins the X-Men.
that was in 1983, I want to say.
Yeah, that's the first comic I don't think it was the first comic I read, but it was the first comic I remember going and buying myself. with
Yeah.
money.
But when they changed the future,
Yeah.
did they change the timeline then?
I
Like,
don't know.
because I mean, you have,
Create
if you-
whatever they want to create.
if you remember correctly, like X-Men First Class, and they ended up changing the future. They met at a secret lab facility.
I thought all those X-Men were not very good.
No, they weren't. They were all convoluted. They were too convoluted. There was no continuity. There was no continuity to it.
It was better with what's his name as Wolverine and
Hugh Jackman.
Yeah, the first few, before they. The new ones where they're all young, I didn't think were very good.
And you know what? And I like those better. And I like those better actually. I never liked Hugh Jackman as a. Well, I don't like the way he was cast as Wolverine. I think he should have been shorter. I think actually, yeah, there you go. That's Wolverine right there. We're looking right at him. So it's 5'3".
Yeah,
should be 5'3".
He's 5'3".
He's 5'3" in the comics. He's a runt. He's 5'3". They made Wolverine 6'2".
Yeah, but I mean, they've done that in a lot of movies. I remember there's a series Jim Butcher writes that's the Dresden Files, and it's about a wizard. And then that series is huge as books, and then they Sci-Fi Channel tried to turn it into a TV series.
Yep.
And this guy is literally like in the books. He is super tall. He's like 6'3", 6'4". He's towers over everyone, and he has a staff that he always carries.
Yep.
TV show comes out. The actor is like 5'10".
Yep.
Everybody towers over him.
Yep.
He holds a hockey stick. A hockey stick.
That's just insanity.
A wizard in current day times in Chicago.
You
cannot
mess with the costumes. I always say do not mess with
fans of people like that room.
Okay, well, so that's funny because we got Casey Jones over here, who's supposed to be Gandalf.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
Casey Jones, in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, my area or my era. He's the one who holds his hockey stick and beats people with it.
Beats people with it. Yep.
Hockey mask and everything.
Oh, okay. I know what you're talking about. Okay, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the hockey guy.
Yeah.
I just did like Dresden Files, and then that thing got canceled by like 5 episodes in.
5 episodes, yeah, pretty quick. It was a good series, though. It started off good.
Dresden Files?
Yeah, I liked it. It wasn't bad.
I just had read all those books, so it was killing me to watch this guy.
Well, because I didn't read the book, so you knew the canon, so I didn't.
Yeah, I had already read all the books when that came out, and so I was literally going like, this guy's 5'10" with a hockey stick. I'm like, what are you doing, dude?
Yeah.
But anyway, okay, guys, I love you to death. This has been amazing. Jeanette has big dreams, big aspirations. If you are a filmmaker or you are a writer or director and you want someone who's going to put their all in it and is a beautiful spirit and a beautiful lady, that's who you're going to go hit up, right? She's specifically also looking for some comedy stuff. So,
yeah,
you guys. And then, of course, Andrew's got like a million and zillion things going on. Not to mention that as soon as we get done here, he's going to go back to playing with himself and his toy. But the top turnbuckle coming in. But anyway, they're beautiful spirits. They're amazing people, and I'm so happy that we were able to bring Andrew back and have Jeanette on. We'll bring Jeanette back in maybe 6 months and see where she's going, what she's got going on. Of course, as always, Mark Potter, and I have not made one reference to Mark Potter and his shattered lightsaber.
Wow! Goes from he's definitely got the phallus thing going from salami to lightsaber.
No,
I fixed the light
universe with his lightsaber.
I did fix the light though.
In the middle of an episode, he shattered his lightsaber.
Wow! What, you poke into the ceiling fan?
No, I was doing. I don't know if you've seen the Revenge of the Sith, right?
Yes.
So in Revenge of the Sith, you know when Obi-Wan and Anakin fight, right?
Yep.
I can do the Obi-Annie spin. You know how they flip the lightsabers in front and going. Yeah, I can do that.
And then he thought he could, and then he tried, and then he shattered it.
No, my lightsaber is like almost as tall as me.
And that used to be his strength, Andrew. And then his half lightsaber now, it just doesn't have the same oomph.
You need some Viagra for the saber.
Well, I don't know if you know what Ultra Saber, but Ultra Saber it's a durable. They use like.
Is that like Silverhawks?
No, Ultra Saber is one of the most expensive lightsabers
Remember
you
that,
can get.
Andrew?
They're like
Silverhawk?
they're like a few. Yeah, I remember Silverhawk.
Hmm.
They're like a few $100. Those lightsabers, right?
Yes, and I completely and utterly destroyed
But aren't they made of like polycarbon something that they don't
aircraft aluminum.
and it broke?
Well, so
You
it's
didn't
got.
know how badly his maneuver went, man.
So if you remember correctly, have you ever heard of Star Killer?
No.
It's a video game. Shoot, I'm trying to figure it.
Okay, well, let's do that next episode because we're winding down now. That's where we're headed.
Mark, I believe JD just gave you the hook.
I'll send a picture to you later.
Okay, email.
Yeah, you guys. So it's been amazing. All the people that have joined us or will see this. Obviously, this is recorded, so it's going to be up in perpetuity, up on the page. So people that are either have been with us or are watching it or will watch it, we love having you. Please support Andrew and all of his aspirations and dreams. Please support Jeanette PAcifico and her aspirations and dreams. And one tidbit of history you might not know is her great ancestor was the one that found the Pacific Ocean, hence her name is Pacifico. He lived in a hut, walked 10 feet out and said, there it is. It's called that Pacific Ocean. But anyway, that might be a little bit of a fib on my part, but still, it's been amazing to have you all. Love you all. Love all the people out there. Remember, as always, this is StormCrow, Dreamers Talking to Dreamers. As always, keep dreaming.
Good night. Love you guys.
Love you to death.
All right, brother.
See ya. Love you.